Alrighty, happy Tuesday, happy December 16th. So as I'm making this, we're just 2 hours and 18 minutes after market opening, after New York session market opening, right? Now, for those who are in Top Step, who trade Top Step, I should say, it's just crazy, right? A lot of people couldn't close their positions, as you can see it here. Just really, really unfortunate. Um, Today was actually a weird action too, and we can talk about that. We can talk about my setup. I will brutally be transparent when I say this. I think, even though I had a bias, I do think I got lucked out to some degree. Um, and it's just weird because you see this with almost everybody on the top step, right? Some people made really good money. Some people got really fucked up and lost their trades. If I was on top step server, I would show that too. However, that's just none of my business. And another reason why I basically say top steps. I mean, just prop firms in general. I had a really shit experience with my funded futures or my funded funds, whatever it's called, MFFU. Um, they're just prop firms is basically another way of, it's kind of like a homeless guy on the intersection holding a sign that anything's well appreciated, food, money, God bless. Right now, what I'm saying, what I mean by that, I'm not trying to rage bait, but I'm saying that with my hand on my heart. If you can just imagine that, just because trading, aside from having your own edge, aside from having your own trading style, if you're lenient on anybody else for your payouts, withdrawal, deposits, then you're kind of the same as an employee at that point. Now, a lot of people want to be convinced. A lot of people are so easily to convince, as a matter of fact, or persuade that if you're using somebody else's money, why would you trade your own money? Well, here's the thing: when you do your taxes, you will literally, especially if you live in the U.S., you federally will be, and if you make good payouts, all right, if we're talking about even anything above 10K a month, you are literally screwed. And if you live in the same state that I do, the West Coast, California, you will be giving almost half. It's actually 47.9%, um, unless if they raise that according to the state's tax, right? But if you make more than 10 to 13K a month, you federally and legally by the state of California have to pay 47.9% of your income in taxes, right? So, and prop firm traders, if you even do get multiple payouts, I think if you exceed 12,000 in payouts, then you officially will be W2'd. W2 is just a regular 8 to 4, 9 to 5 job type of IRS tax thing, right? Tax sheet. So, in other words, you're just being taxed like a regular employee, and if you make good money, you're this state and in this country, you will have to give a good chunk of it up, right? So you are not an entrepreneur. As much as you're boast, a lot of people, especially on prop firms, want to boast that. Now, even I'm trading live cash, but that doesn't mean that I'm entitled to basically act like, an asshole like that, right? So be humble. That's just the key in trading, the key in any type of entrepreneurship, as a matter of fact. Top Step, I mean, this is kind of an ongoing thing. I mean, almost like every 3 4 weeks, it just seems like Top Step keeps fucking up, right? So, um, if you got fucked up with Top Step, look, my deepest condolences, because trading is stressful. Trading is really, really, really stressful, and you don't need any other more rules because there's just already a set amount of rules that you should have, um, part of your psychology just to trade, right? So, you can look at my big account. I mean, I just wanted to take, believe it or not, this is 300 lots, right? Or in normal forex words, this should be 3 lots, which means $300 per point, right? You can see that they're all filled at the same time, just 4 seconds of a delay from the first to the third trade. I just took, I think that's just a 11 or 12 pointer right there, right? Sell. Now I knew it was gonna sell. I did catch a better move on my small account, which is this one. So $198 cash account made me $67. Now minus fees, spread, 66. Now I did see a little bit more, but with the volume and with momentum, you're always going to get filled out at a different price, right? That's also known as slippage. Just to a very little degree, obviously. Slippage is pretty bad. Um, what else? What else, right? Here, aside from that conversation, um, if you can't if you can't withdraw your money, if you got to really request for payouts, is that even your money to begin with? Just really, really want you to just think about that right now. Top Step, Apex, MFFU, whatever it is, just kind of, I'm still reading these conversations. I mean, I did not actually even catch up on all this. So, anyways, look, I'm not here to scam anybody to sell anything. I don't have a course. I don't have a mentorship program. The closest thing to free and to quality education is being in this Discord, with basically being in my server. Right now, I do have some people in here. I also do have a few mods. Um, and these are people who. Why did I join? These are people who genuinely want to learn and grow and make money and be profitable, because that's the end goal for everybody in the server. Now, as you can tell, 8:48, just a course of what is it, almost 10 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, I'm already a few messages behind, right? So we got 88 people on the server. We literally just started a month ago, November 13th. I'm not, if it's one thing I'm here to promote, it's to be in this Discord, because learning how to grow, succeeding in something, especially learning how to master your craft, it starts off with being in a positive, optimistic environment, right? And what's better than being in a place where basically there's multiple people, and I can show you guys there's multiple people that actually take winning trades. So look at this guy. Even though I don't support prop firms, profit is profit, losses are losses. Whoever takes what, I mean, that's a true reflection of some credit that deserves to go to those people, right? So, how do I close this? So that person, I think they made 471 profit. I can't really see it that well. This guy, also small account but live. Look, I mean, you guys can do the math yourself. What I want to say, that's easy. Early $40, maybe $43, right? This guy too. I mean, he caught a banger of a trade, but he probably just he's looking at something else. So he's just trolling. But I didn't even realize that P&L, two chickens and a baby goat. Now, so again, this is more than, I don't know why this guy put this in profits channel. Either way, then you see mine, and I told people this is day one on my small account. Right, I'm trying to flip it, $198 to something bigger. Right, so 198. We're already at 264. Minus fees and whatnot. Now we also got people who are just transparent, right? That's all we're about. So this guy just deposited 150. Basically, what I did for this account, I did 100. Actually, I did a little over 200, but 198 is the final outstanding capital balance because of fees and crypto exchange, whatnot, right? Commissions. So this guy, same story. Just unfortunately, this is the reality of trading live, and this is just the reality of trading in general. That you're going to take losses, right? So, you can't do anything but just to be transparent, be honest. You gotta have a brutal, honest conversation about the trades and your mindset, and you just everything regarding your thought process about how you're planning to trade, right? And what you ended up doing. Now, this morning, me as well as so many other people, basically were saying just not a lot of people were thinking about here. I was looking for this one. Will gladly sit out today and protect my capital. Now, I kind of said the same thing. I said, well, I don't even know if I'm going to get a trade, right? I basically said this comment 3 times, and then I said this one too. It happens. This guy didn't trade. I just wanted to see a really, really nice trade. But anyways, I did tell these people, I mean, a nice trade according to my setup, right? Now, if you got to read the charts, you got to look for an opportunity. If it doesn't strike the opportunity, you just got to be able to sit on both of your hands. So with that being said, I did tell people good morning this morning when I had just got onto the charts and I told people, look, we had all these things pre-market. We're gonna move the markets. It's gonna be really crazy action today. Did not expect anything to happen with Top Step, like that unfolded right now. Again, $66 on the small count, $66 on the small account, 4,900, if you will, on the bigger account. Again, I just wanted to make some quick scalp money, right? I think we can all agree if you're gonna take 300 lots, $300 per point, in other words, and even if you make 5 6 points, 1,500, 2,100, $2,500, that's literally just the easiest money right now. Um, this was my setup, and again, I could show you guys on the bigger charts, right? So this is exactly what it was, and I'll rewind it just to show you guys what I was thinking now. Now, if you just zoom in a bit, right, that's a little too much. Came up, drop, came up, drop. We were holding over here, so ideally I wanted to see this flush, but at the same time, I mean, if it was gonna hold support, that would have been great too. But at the same time, we came over here, we wicked it, came back up, wicked it, and had the news. Massive wick basically right below that zone. And then the next candle, right? We flushed it. I mean, retested, flushed it, and then we came up. Now, I'm gonna clear this, right? I'm gonna clear my drawings just to kind of show you guys something. A potential sell that I wanted to take would have been right here. Basically, as you can see, that's the wick. That's where it wicked it out. I'm not saying it because it wicked it out. I'm saying that's exactly where I was looking. But at the same time, I did not think that we would sell from up there. I thought at market opening we could literally just break past it. We could come up here, retest it literally for like the past few hours that we've been doing the whole New York pre-market, and then we would tank, right? That should be an arrow, guys. That looks like a, I don't even know what that looks like, but it does not look like an arrow. But we should have tanked. Sells was the only thing on my mind. And New York opening, sure, we could have had a pretty good bullish candle just as a retest for sells, but at the same time, you don't want to take something if that's not really part of your bias, right? So what I mean by that is that even though I knew that a long was expected in market opening just for a retest, I didn't know exactly how far it would come up, and I got smoked and tried to do that, right? Now I would ride a trade back to my zone, look for re-entry, and then take, basically in this case, a sell, right? So I would take my intended position, my intended whatever I was thinking for my thought process, but it just gets a little too complicated and you risk too much on the table when you basically fuck up the first trade. So say that I wanted to take a buy over here just because I wanted to see it as a retest of the zone. Well, there have been trades where it filled me in a little bit profit and then it just synced and then came back up much later to retest it and the trade panned out. So sometimes you really have to learn how to be patient and to sit on your hands with trading, right? That's just a huge brutal reality of trading. There's gonna be money made, there's gonna be money that you lost on, there's money that you just sitting in your hands that you could have made but you didn't make. Just a lot of brutal realities. um I'm not saying this trade, as a matter of fact, because I usually like to make my trade recaps much later in the day just so I can kind of sit on it, think about my trade, think about my thought process, recollect myself, come back to the charts with a calm mind, right? But I'm still looking at this charts and I brutally don't understand exactly if I traded right or what had happened, right? And there's gonna be days where you have those type of moments, and I'm here to kind of expose that, right? I'm here to tell you guys, again, with my hand on my heart, to tell you guys that sometimes you're gonna be looking at charts and you don't see a damn thing in mind. Even if you see a setup like what I'm doing over here, all these lines or the purple box that I had in mind, sometimes that's just not even gonna be tested, right? It's not even, there's no retest, there's just no wicks over there. Price is moving and you're like, well, what do I do? The best thing would be to do is just go to the top left of your browser, just exit out, close the apps if you have TradingView as an app or whatnot, close the Top Step app or whatever, just log off, right? Sitting on cash is the ultimate winner as well. Actually, that's even harder to master than just taking any trade. That's a brutal fact. Now, it came up market opening, which was nice. It wicked it at first. It wicked it literally right here at the bottom of that zone. I don't know if you guys could see. I have a blue line there and a blue line on top. It wicked it like this candle that my cursor's on, right? Like this one. It wicked it. I got it in a sell over there, and the moment that I got filled in, it did drop like 10 points in the money, and it immediately went back up. And I kid you not, it's kind of interesting to see how it held this zone, right? So it held literally the top, which would have been my stop loss. It was a very weird and bitter day because at the end of the day, on my small account, I did risk a lot more than what was considered as okay. In other words, I full ported my small account. And it's $198 in that account. I mean, you could look at any of my previous videos. What is $198, right? And make more than that on a day-to-day basis, even as a quick scalp, right? So even as a quick small scalp, this account. Literally, when I have to pay my bills, I'll just trade this account, and I'll be like, oh, 2 bands. Okay, that's great. 3,100 is literally my rent. Okay, if I can make more than that, then great. And making this amount 2-3 times a month, it's literally like, okay, great, right? Now I'm stress free, right? Plus I have other sorts of incomes. So again, all that just to say, I took the sell. I was holding it here. I did get lucked out. This is where I think I got lucked out, but whether that's lucked out or whether that I recognize that we basically came down, went up, down. All these wicks was holding it over here. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then when we finally had that massive flush, we wicked it up here and we just had the flush, right? So especially with this major wick, even though that's a news candle, we don't really want to consider it too much. It basically says that we are rejecting this huge area here. So what do we want to see it do, right? Now we want it to basically say that it should be rejecting all of this, right? All of this. So, which is funny because I could have traded more. Not saying I would have been on the green or right side of day had I kept trading, but you could easily look at all these trades and basically say that, well, if we had a massive wick here, this thing has to be dropping. So, that's all I'm going to say. Again, my apologies. These trade recap videos are a little bit on the longer side. It should be nothing more than 10 to 11 minutes. Instead I'm running double than that, with this one being 18 minutes. But if you want to join the Discord, again, it's free. I got nothing to sell to nobody, right? In fact, I got multiple DMs here. Okay, I got multiple DMs here. People just ask me questions. I'm here to help anybody and everybody that I can. I make money. I make my own money. I really like where I'm at in my life, and above all, I just want people to understand that when you need help, when you need resources, there are people like that, right? Now, when you trade kind of foolishly, sorry guys, but when you make mistakes, when you trade a little bit recklessly and foolishly, you're gonna get slapped with a nasty loss. So you gotta be humble. Gotta be humble, right? That's all I gotta say. As always, guys, peace, love, and cheers. And it's just a Tuesday. Hold yourselves, please. Thank you.